Dear Mary, today I want to talk about how to start the school year off right. I may be 2 weeks late on this, but hey, you're never too late for a fresh start. It's kind of my motto right now. So my first tip would be to have a positive attitude. I always try to have a positive outlook on life, so this is kind of my advice for really any situation. On the very first day of classes, there was a solar eclipse. Is it a good thing or a bad thing? I don't know. I discussed this with my friends, and we decided that we were just going to choose to believe it was a good omen, and that meant that this semester was going to be great. And having that attitude can make you just so much more ready to greet the semester head on, rather than just focusing on the fact that now you have to go back to school and you can't just lay out in the sun all day, if that's what you were doing over the summer. Try to find things about your classes that excite you. Look through the syllabus and see what you're going to be learning that you're excited to learn. And if you're excited to learn nothing, then you're a loser. My second step is to organize yourself. It is so easy to just get lost in the huge pile of assignments that you're going to be having. So start off the semester organized and primed. Get yourself a planner. I want to show you my planner because I didn't buy one this year. I just went and I printed off some pages from the internet. I just Googled calendars. This came up. You could also do this in Excel or other programs. There's lots of ways you can do it. But I just printed off some calendar pages and then I can write on them, and it's very customizable and it's perfect. I love it. I would also advise you to allot a certain amount of time for studying, free time, relaxing, that sort of thing, and use it too. It's fairly slow going at the beginning of the year, and so even when it's slow going, I would still suggest trying to find ways to use your allotted study time to study, because that will help you get used to spending that much time studying and working and being focused on one task. You do this for your rest time. Make sure you're getting 8 hours of sleep. Have a set sleeping schedule where you're going to bed and waking up at the same times every day. Don't forget to take a break at this semester, because at the beginning of the semester you can just feel so ready to get going, but sometimes but you don't want to throw yourself completely into it because you might burn out. Doing this with your social life, setting specific times where you're gonna meet up with your friends. I'm not saying you need to have a certain time and date with all your friends, but make plans with them. Find some people who maybe want to go to football games with you. If you have a friend who's, say, never seen a Marvel movie, decide that every weekend you're going to get together and watch a Marvel movie. Your social life is important. Not as important as your academic life, but still important. This piece of advice is going to sound weird. Either start off with a lot of stuff or start off slow. So this is something you really need to think about as an individual. For me, I realized that at the beginning of the year, I'm introduced to a lot of different things that I could do. You sign up for 50 emailing lists of all these clubs that you probably are never going to join. But I'm only ever asked to join those clubs at the very beginning of the year. And then they don't really do a lot of recruiting in the middle of the year. Because people get busy, and stuff like that. So for me, I like to just take on a bunch of stuff at the beginning of the year and then slowly just drop off the things that I can't handle. But some people might want to start off slow, just dip their toe in, and then slowly start adding stuff on as they know that they can handle it. My next tips are tips for when you're in class. So my first tip is to sit in the front row. I actually sit off to the side of the front row because the front row is where you get spit on by the teacher. You perform better when you're in the front. I don't care who you are. I don't follow this advice very well because I don't go and talk to my teachers very often, but I want to. But a lot of times I don't know what to ask them. So just go and try. Some teachers won't want to make small talk with you and they won't want to hear from you, but there are a lot of teachers who are really into engaging with their students, and so engage with those teachers, and then later on in the semester, if something happens, they're more willing to work with you, if they already have a personal connection with you. So it's always a good idea to just try to get to know your teachers right off the bat. Ask them questions in class, and answer their questions in class too. Not bring your laptop to class. This might sound like weird advice, and obviously it's not for everyone, but like, hear me out. So we all know that people on their laptops in class, you're not just taking notes. I mean, you may be taking notes, but you're also going to be on Facebook and online shopping. Just be honest. So I think it's a good idea to just leave that all at home so that you're not distracted on the first day of class, so that you're making a good impression. You don't want your teacher's first impression of you to be the fact that you just sit in class and are on social media, because first impressions stick. My last piece of advice is to clean. This is mostly because coming back to school means being reintroduced to a lot of different germs from a lot of different places, and so you don't want to get sick. So keep yourself clean, wash your hands, drink your orange juice, take your vitamins. If I even get like a tickle in my throat, I wash my sheets, I wash my towels, I sanitize all the door handles and anything like other people touch. And because you don't want to be getting sick at the beginning of the year, or really anytime, but especially at the beginning of the year. So what this all surmises to is that you should try your best to start the school year off strong, because as the stress and the workload piles on, you're gonna start slacking off in certain areas. But if you start out strong and you started forming those habits, then you're not gonna be completely trashed by the end of the year. Well, hopefully. So that's all. Sincerely, Sophistication.